And a lot of people don't put what city they're from, even though I ask them to, but that's okay. This is from John, and he writes, Eddie, my name is JT. Oh, here he goes. I'm from Tampa. There you go. Thank you. 2 topics that I thought you would find interesting. On last week's show, you said that Chris DeGarmo has not played with Queensryche in 20 years or so, but 9 years ago, he played a football halftime show in Seattle and was joined on stage by Michael Wilton and members of Alice in Chains. And not only did they play a Rush song, but Chris was playing his guitar that has the Queensryche logo all over it. John, I am completely unaware of this. Thank you for sharing. I had no idea. So according to John, members of Alice in Chains with Michael Wilton played a football halftime show in Seattle. I don't know why Chris DeGarmo doesn't play then. He does these little spotty things with Cantrell or Alice in Chains or what have you, but man, it would be great if he got back out there again. Who knows? 9 years ago we're talking about those, so this isn't current news, but it'd be great if we found out he was getting the itch again, right? John's second thing is, last week you were talking about the TV show Picard. Yes, I went into my geek zone about that, and wanted to say that when it comes to Star Trek, Van Halen and Star Trek have a lot in common, because many people view Captain Kirk as the David Lee Roth of Star Trek and Picard as Sammy Hagar. And I think most of the fans of your show will know exactly what I mean when I say that. All right, John, thank you for that. I don't know if I fully get it, but thank you. Oh, man, you guys are too much. Okay, this comes from David Hurst, and David is commenting on the Super Bowl halftime show. And, okay, so this is a lengthy article here about the Super Bowl halftime show. Okay. All right, so there's a comment here. I see where he's going because there's some text in here about the artists who actually sing live. And this is an interview with somebody who produces this show, I guess, the Super Bowl halftime show. And the question is, I heard that the performers lip sync during the halftime show. Is that true? And this gentleman who works on the show says, no, most of the lead vocals are live. Background vocals are always pre-recorded. Most of the band is pre-recorded. The Rolling Stones were an exception in Detroit. They refused to do any backing tracks, so that was all live. So we still had to push their stage out in 6 minutes and then also connect it all up with actual drum mics, guitar mics, keyboard inputs, the whole thing. But Madonna, for example, was just live vocal and everything else was tracked. Same with Katy Perry. But even some of her vocals, the really difficult parts, when she was flying, she got really nervous, so she pre-recorded those. Wow. This goes on and on. This is really revealing. I got to read this more through. This is way too long to get into on the air here for this, but thank you for sending this. And kudos to the Stones insisting to be all live when they played the Super Bowl halftime. Amazing. Amazing. Guys in their 70s still bringing it live and showing the kids how it's done. Just a few more things from this fascinating article that I'm reading for the first time here. So you gauge on the fly when someone needs a little support. Yes, most of the solos, like all of Prince, his guitar playing was all live. With Springsteen, the sax was live, the guitar was live. Some people just aren't good lip syncers and some are. Madonna is spot on, probably because she's been doing it so long. But some, like Bruce Springsteen, he changes the way he sings it each time he sings. So it would be embarrassing if you had a close-up of him and it didn't match. But do they all pre-record vocals? Yes, we call it a protection track. We always record a protection track for the halftime lead singer and for the national anthem. Wow. The big notorious one that I play for everybody was my very first Super Bowl in 1998. The national anthem was done by Jewel. She was brand new then. She got so nervous because she was a kid and she'd been nominated for a Grammy. The Super Bowl was in San Diego. She's from San Diego. So they thought, oh, we'll get a local. The morning of the Super Bowl, she said, I don't want to sing live. But it starts a cappella and the music comes in later on. And we said, well, then if you're not going to sing live, then you're going to wear in-ear monitors because it starts a cappella. And she said, nope, I can't do this. I'm not used to it. Just give me the speaker wedges and give me the count off in the wedges. Like 1, 2, oh, can you sit? Oh, say, can you see? We said when they say, ladies and gentlemen, Jewel, the crowd is going to scream. With in-ear monitors, you're going to hear it. But with speakers, whatever you set in an empty state, whenever you sit in an empty stadium, you might not hear when the crowd screams. So she misses the first words because she couldn't hear. Wow, this is incredible. I'm going to read through this entire article. And huge thanks to, hold on, let me get back to the emails here, to David Hurst for sending this story to me. David, thank you. The Stones insisting all live for their Super Bowl performance. And this guy, who is a producer of the halftime show, just basically saying how the rest of it, even down to the national anthems, are completely canned. This gentleman who does the sound, his name is Patrick Boltz. He is the sound engineer for the Super Bowl halftime show. And he just basically ripped the cover off the hoax that the Super Bowl performances are real in any way. You got, I mean, I don't know. I don't know why, like, an article like this comes out and just everyone's just okay with it. Am I the only one this bothers? Whether it's something like this or whether it's the plethora of rock bands that we see off mic with lead vocals coming out every day on YouTube. Is nobody else, there are others speaking out about it, but is nobody else going to take a stand? I was just watching, one of those TV shows, Extra or whatever, the other day on TV. And they were gushing about the performance and how great the ladies sounded at the Super Bowl halftime show, meaning J-Lo and Shakira. How the fuck do you do that when you're talking about a pre-recorded track? I literally want to take this pen and jam it in my ear right now. It's just so mindless. Open your eyes and ears, you stupid idiots out there in the media. I can almost understand if you want to ignore it, but to put praise on it? Are you just ignorant? It's mind-blowing. Oh, the lady sounded so good. Here's J-Lo's big warm-up. Didn't see her doing a vocal warm-up. Saw her doing squats and stretches. I mean, come on. And what this guy is talking about with the safety vocal, if you will, is exactly what a lot of rock bands are doing live that are faking it as well. Earlier in the week, video making the round of Paul Stanley nowhere near the microphone during Tears Are Falling and a lead vocal coming out. Oh, he sounds great. What these guys are doing is running a vocal track that covers them. So if they want to lip sync, they can do it and not actually do anything. The mic is live, the mic is on, but they don't actually have to sing if they can't sing. And just let the vocal and the sound guy will just ride it if he needs to. Or they sing with the fake track, pre-recorded track. Or they don't sing at all and just lip sync. But that's why you have the inconsistencies, and often people doing it are exposed, especially if it's a new song in the set. It's like an actor learning the part. If you didn't learn it, you're easily exposed. It's crazy to me. So yeah, technically the person may have a live mic so they can say over the mic, hey, what's going on, LA? But that's only if they want to. Otherwise, there's coverage there for them the whole time. But if you get out of sync with it, then you're exposed even more. I mean, it's just, look, I can almost excuse it when it comes to a big thing like a Super Bowl where there's a quick changeover and all that. Although the Stones, guy's 150 years old, they still insisted on everything right down to the drums being live. And they did it. Wow. I'm just sick and tired of hearing about people who are allegedly great talents or at the top of their game. And it's all a fraud. Wow, what a fascinating article. Thank you,